Ladies, ladies, gentlemen, and all you in between. You can come closer. Do not fear. This is an exhibition. And I am an exhibitionist, which is like an exorcist, but at an exhibition. This exhibition has 9 rooms, 2 of which are secret. The first secret room is on my right-hand side, behind that wall over there. And the second secret room is behind me. It is marked by a tiny silver knob attached to the small improvised door. This exhibition has things you can see and things you cannot know. This exhibition has several works that are so old, it's hard to believe how up-to-date they still are. This exhibition is so 90s, it makes you feel like the 90s were the epitome of the contemporary. This exhibition is so contemporary, it gives you a pleasant feeling of familiarity. This exhibition is so familiar, it makes you feel like there has always been that many works by women artists in the museum. This exhibition will probably make you aware of the finitude of all things. It will probably make you aware of the fact that all good things must come to an end. This exhibition might make you nostalgic. It might make you skeptical or critical. This exhibition might make you want to dance or cry dancing. Would you allow me to dance for you? Akademia Ruchu, other dances. Would you allow me another dance? Yes? No? Zbigniew Libera, Duck, and my friend Billy's pissing solo. This is a collection. Top, bottom, side of the collection. Góra, dół, strona kolekcji. Front, back, inside of the collection. Od przodu, od tyłu, bokiem kolekcja. This is a collection, but I am not a collector. The castle is a collector, or rather, should we say, a hoarder. Hoarding, as you probably know, is a tendency to excessively accumulate and store objects in large quantities. In other words, a hoarder is someone who accumulates and stores way too many things they need, and they find it impossible to let go of them or get rid of them. This is an exhibition of the castle's hoarding tendencies. Hoarding is considered a disorder. Hereby, I invite you to a guided tour/performance of the castle's hoarded collection. In this guided performance, the most, or the least, I can do is to show you the end of my index finger. Would you follow me? Currently, the castle has no logo. The old logo is exhibited just there, next to the pile of rocks, which stand for nature and history, and quite close to the notorious video by Natalia LL in which a young female is eating a banana, which stand for nature and history as well. The old logo resembles a grid a floor plan, a map, a shadow. The new logo is no logo. It is the word Ujazdowski, that's U-Jazdowski, which stands for a place or a location. It is also short for U-turn, and it also resembles the shape of a horseshoe. In other words, it's a symbol of luck, good luck. Would you now follow me to the sacred room? This is a sacred room. It is sacred because 6 years ago, the Polish artist Jacek Marczewski exhibited his scandalous work, The Adoration of Christ, in this very room. This video work consisted in the artist touching, rubbing, and licking a medieval crucifix. The work stirred controversy, and it attracted crowds of Catholic devotees who would come to the room and protest the work by praying. The praying protest escalated eventually to such extent that one of the protesters threw red paint and eggs onto the video projection. Od przodu, od tyłu, bokiem, instytucja. Top, bottom, side, institution. Top. Bottom. Side. Institution. Od przodu, od tyłu, bokiem, instytucja. Top. Bottom. Side. Front, back, side, institution. I don't know if you noticed that the windows of this exhibition are blue. Did you notice? Did you notice that the windows of this exhibition are covered with a blue foil? Yes, no? They are. Could you also imagine that there is a thin layer of water on the floor everywhere here? Like in the original David Hammond's work, Real Time, which was exhibited here around 19 years ago. One of my favorite writers says, Plato wanted both poets and painters out of the Republic. He called painters mixers and grinders of multicolored drugs, and color itself a form of pharmacon. The religious zealots of the Reformation felt similarly. They smashed the stained glass windows of churches, thinking them idolatrous, degenerate. For distinct reasons, which had to do with the fight to keep the cheap slave labor crop of indigo out of the Western market, indigo blue was called the devil's dye. And before blue became a holy color, which had to do with the advent of ultramarine in the 20th century, and its subsequent use in stained glass and religious paintings, blue often symbolized the Antichrist. I love to gaze at a promising-looking cock, writes Catherine Millett in her beautiful sex memoir, before going on to say that she also really likes looking at the crimson valley of her pussy and the brownish crater of her asshole, laid bare and prepared in its colors for fucking. Od przodu, od tyłu, od środka, instytucja. In May of 2011, the director of Ujazdowski Castle Center for Contemporary Art, in agreement with the Central Bureau of Investigation, accepts to store in the castle storeroom a large number of artworks believed to have been stolen from a private collector. You can look if you want. Protokół oddania rzeczy na przechowanie. Biegły przystąpił do wykonania opinii w związku z postanowieniem o dopuszczeniu dowodu z opinii biegłego, wystawionym w dniu 26 maja 2011 roku, w którym postawiono biegłemu pytania. 1. Czy przedstawione biegłemu obrazy, rzeźby, monety i figurki są autentycznymi dziełami sztuki? Jaka jest wartość rynkowa przedstawionych obiektów? Czy okazane obiekty stanowią dobro w szczególnym znaczeniu dla kultury? Opinia. Wszystkie przedstawione biegłemu przedmioty noszą cechy oryginalnych prac artystów lub są oryginalnymi obiektami zabytkowymi, w nawiasie figurki kultu buddyjskiego, lub też tylko obiektami kolekcjonerskimi, w nawiasie monety. Okazane obrazy, rysunki, collage, assemblage, rzeźby prawie w całości zasługują na miano dzieł sztuki. Są autentycznymi, cennymi pracami wybitnych artystów polskich, zaliczanych do grupy tzw. klasyków polskiej sztuki współczesnej. Record of things passed over to the castle on the day 2nd of September 2011. Drewniane pudełko z rzeźbą w środku. Rzeźba metalowa koloru brązowego. Rzeźba szklana różnokolorowa. Obraz przedstawiający Zamek Królewski. Obraz przedstawiający kobietę i mężczyznę. A painting without a frame depicting a pink circle. A brown painting depicting the face of a man. Obraz koloru brązowego przedstawiający twarz człowieka. Obraz ze srebrną ramą przedstawiający wodę. Rzeźba koloru brązowego z tworzywa przypominająca kamień. Pudełko prostokątne drewniane z kolekcją monet koloru żółtego i srebrnego. Obrazy przedstawiające poprzeczno-ukośne kolorowe pasy. Obraz otoczony drewnianymi listwami. Posążek z metalu koloru ciemnego przedstawiający Buddę. Obraz pokryty pokrywą z przeźroczystego tworzywa sztucznego z napisem na odwrocie o treści Maria Jarema Tempera Monotypia. Obraz przedstawiający kobietę na plaży. Obraz przedstawiający 4 osoby w trakcie zabaw. Obraz przedstawiający zabawę na sali gimnastycznej. Obraz przedstawiający mężczyznę piłującego kobietę w skrzyni o wymiarach razem z ramą 97 na 81 cm. Obraz przedstawiający postaci koloru czerwonego. A painting depicting a person in color blue. Obraz o wymiarach 150 na 130. Obraz przedstawiający sztukę współczesną. Obraz z tylnej strony widnieje napis Rajmund Ziemski. Obraz w drewnianej ramie. Obraz przedstawiający żółte promienie oraz kształty w kolorze czerwonym. Obraz oprawiony w drewniane listwy. Obraz przedstawiający koło. Obraz przedstawiający karykaturę. Obraz przedstawiający prostokąty. Obraz przedstawiający 4 twarze. Na tylnej stronie obrazu widnieje napis Rodzina Żydowska. Obraz przedstawiający 3 prostokąty w kolorze zielonym. Obraz, na którego tylnej stronie znajduje się naklejka aukcyjna. Obraz, na którego tylnej stronie znajdują się naklejki aukcyjne o treści. Obraz przedstawiający nieregularne kształty. Obraz koloru brązowego. Obraz przedstawiający koła o nieregularnych krawędziach. Obraz przedstawiający leżącą kobietę. Obraz przedstawiający postacie 3 kobiet. Obraz przedstawiający karykaturę orgii, zaś po drugiej stronie płótna koła w kolorze brązowym i beżowym. Na ramię obrazu znajduje się napis pocałunek, uścisk, armaccio. Obraz przedstawiający 2 pojemniki. Obraz przedstawiający nieokreślone kształty. Obraz przedstawiający 3 postaci. Obraz koloru czarnego przedstawia otwarte okno. Na tylnej stronie obrazu znajduje się napis Henryk Waniek Zaułek WM. Obraz przedstawiający 2 sztuki zwierząt, kolor czerwony z niebieskimi liniami. Obraz oprawiony w drewnianą ramę koloru czarnego. Obraz przedstawiający postać kobiety na czarnym tle. Obraz w kolorze czerwono-zielonym. Obraz przedstawiający kwadraty. Obraz przedstawiający pejzaż. Obraz w kolorze zielono-beżowym. Obraz koloru kremowego. Od przodu, od tyłu, od środka instytucja. Obraz przedstawiający martwą naturę. Obraz przedstawiający martwą naturę. Od przodu, od tyłu, od środka instytucja. Obraz przedstawiający wielokolorową kompozycję w drewnianej ramie. Na tylnej stronie znajduje się napis o treści Bogusz Marian podzielony. Obraz przedstawiający 3 postaci grające na instrumentach muzycznych. Obraz przedstawiający 2 osoby siedzące przy stole. Obraz na płycie aluminiowej. Obraz przedstawiający pejzaż. Obraz przedstawiający 3 mężczyzn. Od przodu, od tyłu, bokiem instytucja. Obraz przedstawiający kobietę na czerwonym tle. Od przodu, od tyłu, bokiem instytucja. Obraz przedstawiający biały budynek z kobietą idącą ulicą. Posiada drewniane obramowanie pokryte szarą farbą. Obraz przedstawiający postać kobiety z kwiatkami w dłoni. Obraz nagiej kobiety. 3 grafiki przedstawiające nagą kobietę. 2 grafiki przedstawiające nagą kobietę. Obraz przedstawiający koła od przodu, od tyłu, bokiem. Obraz przedstawiający od przodu, od tyłu, bokiem. Figurka z mosiądzu przedstawiająca postać w koronie. Od przodu, od tyłu, bokiem instytucja. Od przodu, od tyłu figurka z mosiądzu przedstawiająca postać kobiety. Od środka, od przodu, od tyłu porcelanowy statek, na którym znajdują się postaci. Umieszczony w szklanej gablocie na nóżkach. Od przodu, od tyłu, od środka instytucja. Figurka z mosiądzu przedstawiająca postać kobiety. Assemblage. Szklana współczesna sztuka w postaci pojęciu szklanych ampułek wraz z 5 mężczyznami. Od przodu, od tyłu, bokiem. Od przodu, od tyłu, bokiem instytucja. Od przodu, od tyłu, od środka kolekcja. Od przodu, od tyłu, od przodu, od tyłu, od przodu, od tyłu. Did you see? Did you see? Did you see in the other room? Did you see in the other room? There's a huge scroll. It's an interior scroll. It reaches the sky. Did you see? It comes out of the ceiling. And it says, excessive production of artworks and information overload limit the possibilities of choice. Automatism and habit are often taken for necessity of our artistic expression, contained in kilometers and tons of materials, accessible in earthly conditions. The unavoidable excess of energy must be accumulated. The unavoidable excess of energy must be accumulated. Od przodu, od tyłu, bokiem instytucja. The unavoidable excess of energy must be accumulated. The unavoidable excess of energy must be accumulated. The unavoidable excess of energy must be accumulated. Did you see the scroll? Did you see the scroll? Did you see the scroll in the other room? The The unavoidable excess of energy must be accumulated. The unavoidable excess of energy must be accumulated. Od przodu, od tyłu, bokiem instytucja. Od przodu, od tyłu, bokiem instytucja. The unavoidable excess of energy. The unavoidable excess of energy must be accumulated. The unavoidable excess of energy must be accumulated. Michał, could you come and hold my script? I'm very stuck. Could you also help me put my arm down? I can't move. I can't move my legs. Can you move your legs? Are you comfortable? I'm not comfortable. I am now going to wiggle my fingers a bit so I can feel that I'm a human again. Could you wiggle your fingers with me so I don't feel so isolated, please? Could you also wiggle your toes in your shoes? I need to walk because I'm too static. Could somebody walk with me in a line? It's not a challenge. I really need support. Could somebody walk with me in a line? Thank you. Should we walk in a line towards there?
Sure.
Okay. We walk in a line for relaxation. I already feel better. We can walk a bit faster. Can you walk a bit faster? You can also walk. You don't have to look at us, so we don't feel so exposed. Is this a perfect straight line? Is this a perfect straight line?
I don't think so.
It's a bit wiggly, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a wiggly line. Is this a straight line? Are we walking straight? We're not walking straight?
It's so.
Okay, let's do this so I can understand this better. Let's swerve. Does everybody understand what swerve means? It means zboczyć. Zakręcić. How do we swerve from here? Billy, you're an English native speaker. How do we swerve from a straight line? Could you show me? So this is a swerve. This is sexy, not a swerve. This is a swerve, Billy?
Yeah, well, you could alternate your side.
Okay, okay. Then let's walk a bit faster because then it feels like a yoga class for people who can't walk. Could somebody walk with me and swerve with me? I can be on the side, we don't have to be so exposed. You swerve and I follow the swerve?
Okay, all right.
Okay. Aha! Would anyone else swerve with us? Is this correct?
This is like a sway.
This is like a soft sway. It's a baby swerve. It's a swerve for babies.
Could do a
What about like a more what do you call this? Like a more abrupt swerve? Like, is this like you go and then you go? Yes?
Yeah.
Is this still a swerve?
Like a dodge.
Okay. So, one of my favorite theoreticians, please keep walking with me, I don't want to be alone. One of my favorite theoreticians says that she likes to think of social categories as rooms. The thing is that some social categories feel roomier than others. So, if you can wiggle your toes in your shoes, there's roominess there. Roominess is like a wiggle room, like a wiggle room. She also says that to swerve means to deviate. So to not walk straight, not to walk straight. So not to walk towards a certain future. Are we swerving? What are we doing?
Okay. We can swerve more.
Because
Maybe we can avoid each other.
hey, do you want to get clumsy with me?
Yeah, go.
Could I get my script? So, as my favorite theoretician was saying, to deviate means not to walk straight. It means not to walk towards a certain prescribed or imagined or correct future, which is a thing deemed by many as the beginning of a demise or the beginning of an end. Do you follow? Do you follow this little theoretical excursion? Do you follow? Do you, out of all people, follow? Okay, so what if this was the end? Listen, what if this was the end? What if this was not an exhibition, and I was not an exhibitionist, and this was not a collection, and the castle wasn't a hoarder, and this room wasn't sacred? What then? What if this was the last place on earth? What if there was no way out of here? No way out of, like imagine, there's no way out of here. What if there's no way out of here? No way out of here, no door. What if it was 1939 again? What if the city of Warsaw was in a state of war? Or worse, what if an environmental catastrophe struck and this was the last safe space on earth? What then? What if you couldn't leave from here? What if you couldn't leave from here? Imagine you can't leave from this room. Imagine, what if I couldn't leave from here? What if I and you, what if we couldn't leave from here? What if you had to stay here and obey someone we don't trust? What if we had to stay here and obey someone we don't trust? What then? What if we had to stay here and obey the rules of someone we don't trust? What if we had to fight? What if we couldn't fight? What if we feared torture? I guess it doesn't help if I scream. Okay, so imagine this. We can't leave from here. Nobody's leaving from here. Imagine they come after you. Imagine they come after us. Okay, we're in this together. Imagine there's no way out. Imagine you have to hide. Imagine you spend your entire life trying to be yourself, and now you cannot be yourself. You have to be undercover, incognito, in the closet. Imagine men don't protect you anymore. No, men don't protect you anymore. No protection from men. No protection from men. Men don't protect you anymore. Everybody, now imagine men don't protect you anymore. Imagine someone wants to cut a hole in you and fuck you through it. Imagine you have to pretend. I'm screaming again. Imagine you have to pretend you're dead. Imagine you have to be loyal. Imagine you can't be angry, or kind, or romantic, or skeptical. Imagine there's only one path. Imagine there's only one way. Imagine there's only one right way. Imagine you can only walk straight. You cannot swerve. Imagine you can't move forward. Imagine you can't move towards the future. Imagine you have to hide. Imagine you have to hide. Imagine the future doesn't exist. Imagine there's no future. Imagine the future is stupid. Imagine the future is stupid. Stupid future. It's a stupid fucking future. Imagine this. Imagine you're in a bunker. Imagine this is a bunker, actually. Imagine this is a bunker, and we have to be here all together, and there's no way out, and there's no room for anything. Imagine it's really crowded. Like, not like now. Imagine like it's really crowded, like really many people came to this performance. Imagine there's nowhere to piss and shit. So imagine we're sitting here all in our piss and shit. Imagine we're sitting here on our piss and shit. How would we survive? Stay, don't move. Imagine this is the only thing to eat. How the fuck do you eat this even? How do you eat this? How do you eat this? Or this? Who would we eat first? Imagine everything is ruined, and imagine this is the end. This is the end. You're released. You can go to the other exhibition rooms and swerve and wiggle. You can swerve and wiggle in the other rooms. And you can gaze at the exhibition from top and bottom and sideways, preferably sideways, because you want to be versatile. And you're free to exercise your freedom, because I'm done. Thank you. Która godzina jest?
20 za 15 dochodzi.